Today we need to get into fans crying over Jungkook when he said goodbye recently, and then we have people saying that HYBE said the enlistment dates and that sort of thing, and then we also have a clip going viral where we see Jungkook and IU. So hey Dumplings, it's Dave. Decide hater or not, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on, grab your Dumplings, his Springbook merch, and let's go. There is a hidden clip in Jungkook's Budapest vlog that seemed to have gone viral. This is very interesting and not the thing that went viral, but the fact that it went viral. Something that should be of no shock to Jungkook or anybody in K-pop is that fans will literally sit there and complete Hawkeye and nitpick at every frame to see what is in the frame and what Jungkook is doing. So things like products in the videos or products that appear in his home are all things that could potentially sell out or be discovered. I don't know if in the US is a big concern if videos were only shown in the US, if every little thing would be sold out. And I'm not saying Jungkook doesn't have that power here. We just don't have the same culture of buying a lot of things as they do in Asia. Specifically, videos shown in China would potentially get a lot of sales, but I actually have no idea where the majority of these sales actually come from. But what products are being sold out? Apparently, people recognized that on Jungkook's shelf in his room there was something. So this clip that we are talking about is at the beginning of the Budapest vlog, and it shows Jungkook packing his bags to head off to the airport. He likely has someone picking him up downstairs and he is just getting ready. People noticed that there was a humidifier on the shelf, and it was similar or the same humidifier that Jungkook has. Not only that, for some reason, armies zoomed in even more to notice that the shelf also included 3 light sticks from IU's show. So he either purchased 3 in case one breaks, or he just forgets to bring his when he goes to see IU and then just buys a new one there and then just collects them on his shelf. But either way, people thought it was so funny that Jungkook has been a big fan of IU as a performer for such a long time and such a big supporter. Most IU fans don't even have 3 light sticks, and also if you look at the vlog and then the rest of the apartment that he has shown, you'll see that he doesn't have many things to begin with. He might be a bit of a minimalist, so for him to have those light sticks, it means he values those. People were quick to make assumptions and rumors that IU and Jungkook are dating. However, the rumors are less believable and thus can't even be spread that far. This is because it was rumored that IU was in a relationship with someone last year in December. Of course, we don't know the status of that relationship, but I don't recall reading that they broke up. And if the news of them dating makes the news, I doubt a breakup wouldn't. So this is why the rumor can't catch on. And those who are saying this is probably people who are unaware that IU is dating or forgot. But also, why Jungkook showing these things that IU has, which would normally be a huge dating rumor, isn't now? Normally people would look and be like, look, he's dating her and she left her humidifier as his apartment. Because when you date someone, you bring your humidifier to their place. That's real love right there. I know I'm joking, but it actually kind of is, because if the air is so dry, I wouldn't be comfortable over at someone else's place. Jungkook is booked and busy, as he has mentioned in the past. He has no time for relationships. You can see all the shows that he is doing and definitely is so busy. While he is able to, of course, the label and himself are going to have the desire to fulfill the demand. This is how you make the most of your time in the spotlight and make the most of your career before leaving. There's a bit of a saying that is said in Chinese culture. They say you have a good 15 years when you're young to make the most out of your opportunities, and if you do, you're set for the rest of your life. Of course, that doesn't mean if you're older, you're screwed, but just for the younger audience watching, make the most out of your youth. Jungkook recently did a show and it got emotional, and he really didn't have to do much for it to get emotional. Jungkook finished his show and then waved at the audience goodbye. Everyone was cheering and giving him the most support. However, this is where it gets strange, because it doesn't normally happen to most artists. Once Jungkook left the stage, it was almost immediate that the audience went silent, and then it followed by an awe sound, like they were upset that the show was over or that he was gone. I get that. And of course, you don't want a good night to end. And I also agree that these shows or concerts are a bit short lately. Albums and song lengths are getting shorter, which of course means the concert experience is going to get shorter. And like if I'm paying $100 for a concert ticket, then I definitely want to experience more than 1 hour. Although I don't actually know if this particular show was a concert or if it was like a TV show performance where where they gave out free tickets. And I also understand the sadness over his goodbye too, because for a lot of people, this is their last chance to see Jungkook live, and we won't even have an opportunity to do so until after he comes back from the military. So it's a genuine awe because he is leaving, and it almost symbolically represents him leaving to go to the military. However, we have no reason to fret. Jungkook hasn't fully even begun the process of potentially going on tour and promoting his album fully, so there's many opportunities going forward to see him live before he leaves. I have to be honest, seeing the clip makes me really sad because I hate to see fans like this, and I hate to see people be really sad over what are supposed to be moments that fade. What makes concert experiences or any experience really beautiful is that it fades. If the experience went on forever, it would no longer have any meaning, nor would it be as fun or special. What makes these concert moments fun and special for ARMY is that it's a blip in time that some ARMYs get to see and experience. And those who can't make it to the live show are also experiencing something special, as we're all experiencing the era of BTS and Jungkook. In 500 years, BTS will only be something that people talk about, and no one would be able to experience them in real time. So this is what makes their existence and everything so special. So love that the moment fades and enjoy a moment while it's there, meaning you can take out your phone, but don't record through the whole thing. Your memory also does something so amazing where if you don't have documentation of an event, your memory sometimes makes it even more magical. I know we touched on Enlistment, and I want to touch on it a bit more. It was reported by several documents and news articles that HYBE will announce the remaining members' enlistment dates before the year ends, and it's also believed to be maybe in December. This is great news for anyone, I guess, waiting for the news and the announcement. It's also great for people who are waiting for the BTS reunion, as this would be the first step before they can come together again. However, I don't know how accurate these articles are. First off, is it possible that HYBE can announce everything? Yeah, definitely. However, it probably won't be announced before everyone else is aware or before the members know, because the government doesn't release that information. They typically just send a letter to the idol when they're ready, and that's how they know. So HYBE definitely won't be the first to know. I think the members could potentially even talk about it themselves before HYBE even announces it. And then the second thing is, will they all go together? People think this because they are potentially being announced together. If these articles are true and they need to go soon, so are they going to be enlisting all at once? However, probably not. The individual members have talked about the things that they are working on, and so some members, due to their projects they may be working on, may choose to stay and work on those projects before going, and other members may even choose to go earlier. We have to also remember that Bang PD mentioned that the 2025 reunion is more so a hope and not a guarantee, although RM says it's guaranteed, so it could be either. But we do have to note that the members may also not know exactly how long their promotion or second album cycle could take if they want to do that. So they might think it'll only take a few weeks, but then it takes months and delays the enlistment. However, regardless of this, the reunion will happen, and probably latest 2026. And we honestly won't even notice that they're gone. HYBE will have so much content out, and we will see the boys online. The fandom has so much fan-made content, so there's a lot that could come out for us. Personally, my hunch would be that each member will probably enlist earlier of next year, which means that the members who want to do a second solo album or whatever need to have the album ready to go and ready to promote by the end of December. So this is actually very exciting news rather than sad news, because we are very close to seeing way more BTS content and individual member content very soon. I cannot wait. Let me know what you think. Make sure you check on Patreon for more videos. Link down below. Thanks for this lovely comment right here. Love you. Bye.